You're not stepping into a power fantasy here. You're stepping into a world that already feels like it's collapsing, and you're just trying to make sense of it before it completely breaks. That's the tone INDUSTRIA 2 is going for, and honestly, that alone is going to decide whether this game is for you or not. This is INDUSTRIA 2 before you buy. So here's the situation. The game, developed by Bleakmill, drops on April 15th, 2026, and it continues the story of Nora, still trapped in this strange parallel dimension filled with industrial ruins, unnatural machine structures, and an AI that feels less like a villain and more like an environment you're stuck inside. And right away, this is not your typical shooter. Yes, it's technically a first-person shooter, but calling it that without context is misleading. This is a slow, narrative-driven experience where combat is only one part of what you're doing. You're exploring, scavenging, crafting, and trying to understand what actually happened in this world. And that slower pace is both one of its biggest strengths and one of its biggest risks. Because if you're expecting constant action, this probably isn't going to click with you. But if you like games that build tension through atmosphere, this might be exactly what you're looking for. The world design is a huge part of that. You've got this contrast between quiet, almost empty natural environments and these massive, cold, machine-built structures cutting through everything. It creates this constant feeling that something is wrong, even when nothing is happening. And that's where the game seems to shine the most. Immersion. Everything is designed to feel grounded. The inventory system is diegetic, meaning it exists inside the world instead of pulling you out into menus. Interactions are physical. Crafting is part of the environment. It's one of those design choices that can pull you deeper into the experience, but also slow things down a lot. So again, it depends on what you want. Now let's talk about combat, because yes, there is combat and it does matter. You'll be fighting these robotic enemies with a kind of body horror twist, machines breaking apart, reacting in ways that feel almost organic. You can upgrade weapons, add attachments, and approach fights in different ways. But this isn't a game where you're constantly shooting. Combat comes in bursts, and when it does, it's meant to feel tense rather than empowering. That's great for immersion, but it also means some players might find it too slow or even a bit empty between encounters. Another thing to consider is the length. This is not a massive open-world game. It's a compact experience, around 4 to 6 hours long. Now, depending on how you look at it, that's either a positive or a negative. If it's tight, focused, and memorable, that's perfect. But if you're expecting something with a lot of replay, value, or long-term progression, this probably isn't that kind of game. And then there's the elephant in the room, because it needs to be mentioned. This is an indie sequel. And while the first, INDUSTRIA, had a really strong atmosphere and some great ideas, it also had its rough edges. Early impressions suggest there could still be concerns around pacing or performance, and with a smaller team, that's always something to keep in mind. Because with games like this, execution matters more than ambition, and this game definitely has ambition. It's trying to blend narrative storytelling, immersive systems, survival elements, and shooter mechanics into one experience. And when that works, it can feel incredible. But if even one of those parts feels off, it becomes noticeable pretty quickly. So, here's the honest takeaway. You should consider buying this if you enjoy slow, atmospheric, story-driven games where the world and mood matter more than constant action. If you like exploring strange environments and piecing together a narrative, this could be something really memorable. But if you're looking for a fast-paced shooter, a long game, or something highly polished right out of the gate, this might be one to wait on. Because INDUSTRIA 2 feels like one of those games that will hit hard for a specific type of player, and completely miss for someone else. And that's not a bad thing, it just means you need to know what you're getting into. From here, I'm stepping back. No commentary, just raw gameplay, so you can decide for yourself if this world pulls you in, or if it's something you'd rather stay out of.
It's not at all terrifying.
You know, while I admire Atlas's capabilities, I must admit I'm not a fan either. God, there's so many of them.
Nora, please listen.
Brent? Brent, are you still there?
You're not alone down there.
Wait, you mean apart from Atlas?
They found you.
Brent, who are you talking about? Who found me? This just keeps getting better.
We try to strike a nice balance between exploration and combat, but also little physics puzzles, like pulling this minecart out of the way. Ammo is scarce in Industria 2, so Nora has to make her shots count.
There's a sender at the FKE Nordvold outpost. We use it to get back and forth.
How long's the trip?
Maybe 1 or 2 days, depending on the Atlas activity. So you built an AI for...
Sorting dimensions. Atlas was a sorting algorithm.
I guess it didn't stay that way.
Which is the concerning bit.